Hey and welcome to A Night In with Novelli, the podcast. I'm your host Serena, and today we're going to be talking all about sex parties and entertainment with the gorgeous Maria Stavru. Hello gorgeous, how are you?
I'm so good.
I nailed that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more professionally, because you know all about you, and you can look into that camera if you want to tell everybody about who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Shall I do it the same way that I did it off camera as well? Hello everyone, my name is Maria. I work at sex parties as a creative director. I'm a creative producer. I put together showcases and I run cabarets. So everything glitter and glamour, but on stage for me it's a lot of spreadsheets. That's me.
You're good with a spreadsheet as well. I ran for you at an event in, I think it was Southampton.
Yes.
And you had spreadsheets galore.
Darling, it's only got better since then.
But for somebody that has ADHD, that's quite structured, I think.
It's the only way I can.
Is that the only way you can do it?
Yeah.
Because I can't even do a spreadsheet.
Come to me, darling. I will show you the way.
I don't delete anything though. So if somebody asks me for something, I'm like, okay, I've got it. I just need to find out where it's put it.
I feel you. Yeah, it's about having all of those contingencies to make things work. And if it's not deleting anything, that's fine. Yeah. But for me, it's colour coding everything and itemising everything.
No, you're good at it. And I remember thinking, wow. How amazing is this spreadsheet? Like you knew everything, timings, everything perfect. So I've had you also perform at one of my events where you did some firework, and you do lots of different performing, right? So tell us a little bit about how you got started into the world of performance, and what you enjoy most, I guess.
Oh, that's a good question. How I got started was quite wild. I started at 16 and I started as a dance captain for dancers that were older than me. So I remember just looking at these, they were only 18, right? I was 16. And so I was looking at these women. I was like, oh my God, they're so mature and awesome. I just want to be like that. So I was working as an agent and a dance captain. So I'd get them jobs.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved the whole idea of bringing talent to a stage. And the best thing that I enjoyed so much was the fact that I got to give people an opportunity. Maybe they didn't believe in themselves. Maybe they were a little bit unsure about themselves on stage. It was one of my absolute heart, soul fillers when I got to say, hey, actually, you get to do this next week in this place. Is that okay? Let's go.
Amazing. And you have all different kinds of performers that you work with now, right? So you, I've seen with you sword swallowers, contortionists, aerialists. I've seen all sorts come through your doors and onto a stage, which is phenomenal. How did you get into the world of sex parties?
That one, oh my gosh. So I believe it went this way around, but it might have been the other way around. I can't remember, but I started with either Killing Kittens, which absolute titan in our industry, massive, been around for a very long time. So either I went with Killing Kittens first and then progressed to Knights of St. Francis, or it was the other way around. But either way, this was during lockdown.
Yeah.
All the events had closed down. And so the only things that weirdly were sometimes going, not in person, of course, but they were these sex parties. And I was like, that's very interesting. I've worked at Torture Garden before, and that's what? Not a massive leap, right? It's one step away from these sex parties. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And I ended up being a creative for Killing Kittens, it was actually, yeah. So that was over lockdown, doing live shows behind a camera.
Amazing.
Much like this. There was cameras set up and we would record our cabaret shows, and it was just awesome. The kind of productions that we got to put on, even during lockdown, incredible. And then after we got lockdown closed down and we started to go back into events again, slowly, surely, it was one of the few bookings that I had as an agent which gave me this autonomy of creative control. And this is 6 years ago, because it started the end of 2019 into 2020, which is when it all shut down.
And everything just went quiet.
Yeah, we all had a big breather.
Yeah.
And it was tragic, actually. But yeah, like we had a big moment there. And so people just cracked on as best as they could, which was Zoom for them.
Life can be really hard sometimes, and at Influential Breathwork, as this podcast show's sponsor, we really believe that the breath can make a huge difference to how you feel. Grab our 7-part video series in our Breathwork Healing Toolkit that you can find out all about in this episode's show notes.
And like I said, when things opened up again, it went into live shows, sex parties. Got to see what it looked like in person with all the sex parties, which was just bananas. But yeah, that's how I kind of progressed into it.
So Emma Sell, who is the founder of Killing Kittens, she does. She's good friends with the lady that I did the event with the other day that we were talking about before. So yeah, like she's a powerhouse of a person, isn't she? Like, I absolutely adore. So you've moved into a different company. Do you do for lots of different companies?
Ended up, I've got lots of different companies that I work with. But the one that I'm now, sort of I guess, what would you call it? I've got the biggest step up and the biggest amount of trust and. That I wholeheartedly, from seeing everything that they do, I couldn't fault them for how they're running some of their, like all of their parties, but some of the parties that I've seen could do with a little bit of a touch up in terms of things like boundaries, consent, and a little bit of love there, which for the company that I'm now creative director for, can't fault it. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
I'm honest to God, in my heart, so proud of them.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a few that I'm now working with, and there's a few that now I couldn't. And I absolutely would sing that from the rooftops to make sure that we're going to places that are more strict, but still fun.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that fine balance.
And I think one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was like, for you as a performer, how do you find that balance? Because obviously you're entertaining, so there's an element of the performance, but that can also be taken the wrong way sometimes, I guess. So the boundaries need to be quite firm, right? How do you navigate that?
Oh, Serena, bloody awesome question again. So this is a really interesting answer, which oftentimes surprises a lot of people, to be fair. As a performer, some of the safest parties I've ever worked for have been sex parties. And that to some people is like a brigadier. What? But truth be told, because it is so regulated in these parties, you've got people with their armbands running around to make sure that everyone's okay and safe. There's safety talk and discussion as if you're a new member on the way in, or if you're somebody that's been a repeat member, you still get the boundaries and the consent things sent out, the guidelines sent out to you ahead of time, and also in various different email formats ahead of time. Any party that go to, or just a newsletter coming out just saying, hey, we're bringing in this new thing to look after everyone. Yeah. Just to repeat back to people, hey, we're looking after you so you feel safe. And so when you're performing in these areas, I could be running around, like rolling around on the floor, like licking up somebody's leg or something ridiculous, but their hands will be like that or like this. Yeah. And you just feel so much more open and free when you are in a space where you know that there's no danger. Yeah. If you're in a space, I know it's mental, but there's some like nightclubs that I've worked in where I felt so much less safe and less at ease than I do at these parties. So to contrast them, like sex parties are super safe in comparison sometimes. Yeah,
I think with that, so obviously as I'm training as a sex therapist, so we have lots of conversations around boundaries and consent and safety, and a lot of the of my peers that are there will attend sex parties, and they will say that it's the safest space because of the boundaries that are put in place and the consent. And I guess it's a bit like if you're in like a polyamorous relationship, like those the boundaries that you put in and the conditions of something, like they hold you in that safety, right? So like if you go to a nightclub and you've got a drunken person, it can be like really hard work.
We've all
right?
been there.
It can be really hard work. But you do perform at events as well, right? You like normal party, like nightclub things, because
Normal.
normal, not the sexy, not the sexy. I mean, they're sexy because you're there.
Okay. But yeah, like I have like sometimes corporates.
Yeah.
Not all the time. I definitely know my bread and butter, and the majority of the bookings that I get at this point are cabaret based. Mm-hmm. Or something where I get to put on a showcase, where it be in an event space, which is private, or a membership party, or corporate, God knows. But whatever I am doing these days is almost certainly I'm getting to create. So I get to put on the show and make sure that, you know, from start to finish, everything's perfect. I'm working on a rock event.
Nice.
Which is coming out, which is sick. If I could say it's on the 19th of April at O'Meara, thank you. But yeah, to be fair, that one has been super challenging and fun. You know when you were saying about the sword swallowers? I found a guy that does sword swallowing and then balloon pop comes out of his mouth with confetti. I don't know how he's doing it. But it's exciting. We've got that, and there's like this other girl that's going to do a balloon up her nose, out her mouth, and create a clothesline with
nice. Nice. I mean, like they're getting close to a Sticky Vicky performances. So
no!
Things coming out of all different areas.
Sticky Vicky.
So, what has been your most favourite so far that you've been able to, like, production you've been able to put on and perform or watch be performed?
Gosh. Okay. Could I say my most notable and then my favourite?
Yeah.
Okay, this one is shocking though.
It's shocking really, in what way?
Shocking in that way.
Okay.
It was shocking. But I really like showcases which are remarkable. And what I think is remarkable is right now, you and I'm going to bring it up to you because it's stuck in my brain. And I love things that will then stick in people's minds and make them go, oh my God, I saw this thing. There was a woman that I'd booked for an incredible mansion party. It was like 5 floors. On every floor, I was like, I don't want there to be any room where you don't see some mad thing. And the mad thing on level number 1 was this girl that will draw your portrait in under 5 minutes.
Okay.
And she uses a paintbrush, no hands, and her butt.
Wow.
But the thing is, this woman, oh my gosh, she's tall, willowy, looks like a Victoria's Secret model and is very hyper bendy. And she worked out one day she can draw your face with her arsehole.
What makes you figure that out, I wonder? But what a talent.
But there's that's super remarkable. But I think, to be honest with you, my favorite showcases with Dominion Vita, because
and they're the I want to say, how do you, with the big what the judges wear, what are they, not Victorian, what
the Marie Antoinette heads.
Yeah, that's it. That's that company, right?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No.
I thought that was that company.
That's Hold Up Heroines. That's another one that I work with. They're incredible, super awesome. Shout out, Chris. We love you. But Dominion, that one is more... every single event is a different theme. So we did do that one time, like ages ago. But this is why I love it. That's why it's my favourite, because it's every single time there's something different.
I love that,
and it's so exciting to work on. And so every single time they want something wild, beautiful, high end. They want things that people haven't seen before, but at the same time still keeping it really tight with how classy it is and how beautiful the showcase is. So there's some work that I work on which is just bananas, and then there's Dominion Vita that I work on which is just like bring it back to luxury. It's beautiful, but it's always different. And that's what's so exciting. You know us with our ADHD brains.
Yeah.
We like the different.
We do like the different. Absolutely love the different. With regards to you and like being the performer, so Maria the performer, as Maria, the person, everyday person that people get to enjoy and your friends get to enjoy. How do you separate the two? Because you are, I feel from watching you and knowing you a little, is there's a very fine line between the performer and the person. You are one of both, right? So there is a fine line. How do you change hats? What do you do?
Change wigs.
Change wigs.
Hey babe, so the gent over there doing behind the scenes, he'll be able to tell you what I'm like at home. A little bit different, but I think when you pick a performer name, for example, you give yourself that persona and that difference. How I am on stage, I very much try to bring a space of, when I'm out here, I want to feel like every single woman feels more empowered for having seen me, and I want to push that feeling outward. And I want to come out exemplifying what it looks like to have as much confidence that you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes I can spill over into my personal life and I can be a little fiery bitch. But yeah, it's really difficult to be able to take that and put a full stop to it, because it is what I believe. I do believe that everyone should feel that feeling at least once. And if you can do it again, fantastic. If you can make it into a habit where you feel super confident, praise be. Like, we need to have more confidence as women. We need to step into uncomfortable places as women. So I want to be able to embody that wherever I am, for sure.
So it's a bit like you dropping into your sensuality and your sexuality and allowing for that to be seen on the outside and not hiding it, which I feel for a lot of women, we struggle to feel like we can step into that role because we might be seen as being too much in that moment, or what might happen if we're out and about and we're acting in that way. And so it's about being able to take ownership of that, right, and feel safe in doing that. Have you got any tips for the audience on how they could potentially start to maybe step into that power a little bit?
Stop giving a shit. Stop it.
No giving a shit. No shit's allowed.
Truly.
Especially if you've got a paintbrush in your bottom.
Oh my God, you're amazing. But I think also a really practical tip. Practical tip number one, if we could do like a little ding, that would be awesome. Do you remember Zombieland? Useless talent. But practical tip number one, wear the outfit. Wear the outfit, and whatever you want to embody. I mean, when you get dressed up, you feel a bit different, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's so different when you're at home, your hair's up in a scrunchie and you're in your, your comfies and you're relaxed. But when you're all dolled up, you have this kind of like puffed up chest almost, but energetically you feel a little bit bolder, a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
Lean into it. Go all the way. Do your face, do your hair, wear your bloody tribal paints, like whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
If it's an outfit or a shoe, find that confidence in that article and put your armour on and go out that way. That's a practical, quick fire tip.
Yeah. and don't think there's somebody on like TikTok at the moment who goes out with the most random things. So like she might wear 2 different shoes, or she puts her hair up like really crazy, or her lipstick's all around here, and she'll go out like it to kind of prove a point that nobody gives a shit. Like, they're all too busy in their own lives, in their own worlds, that they're not. Some people might snigger a little bit and think it's funny, and they might have a story to tell when they get home, but they really couldn't give 2 hoots what's going on. And I think that's it, isn't it? We think the outside world are going to judge us, when actually they're too busy worrying about their own lives to even think about judging us. And if they are judging us, it's probably because we're shining a light that they're envious of and they want for themselves, and they haven't quite found it yet. That's what I think.
Yeah, and oftentimes that is the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
When people are judgmental, it's a part of them that they can't quite get out, and they wish that they could. That's why they feel that envy. But I mean, if you're being an absolute, pain in the butt for somebody and you're in front of them despite having your lipstick, whatever, or your hair, like whatever, maybe don't be a pain in the butt for other people. Maybe that's why they don't like it. Yeah. But if you're not being a menace.
I feel like, for me, I was at my ex-sister-in-law's wedding. She was married to my brother. She's not anymore. And I was her bridesmaid. And at the reception, I love dancing. I love getting on a dance floor, and I do not come off it until somebody's driving me away. And I don't care. I do not give two hoots who's watching or how I'm acting on that dance floor. I will just feel into the music and I will go for it. At the event I was at the other day, we had Gokwan doing the DJing, and I did the same thing. I just turned up. I went for it on the dance floor. At the wedding, somebody stopped me on the way out and said to me, can I just say, I've been watching you all night long. A lady, like, I've been watching you all night long. Your energy and your personality just shines through, and I just absolutely adore you. You've been mesmerising all night. And the same thing, somebody stopped me the other day at this event as I was leaving and just said, oh my God, I couldn't take my eyes off you. And I'm like, I'm just dicking about. It's not even like, I'm waving around and there's nothing good about my dancing. But the energy that I'm giving is attracting that attention because I'm not giving a fuck in that moment. And it's me showing my confidence and my personality, and I'm allowing myself to be seen. It is probably one of the only times I can do it completely freely. And I don't drink, so it's not like I've had a drink. I'm just loving life in that moment on the dance floor. If somebody wanted to attend a party and it's something that they haven't ever done before, they've been thinking about it, what kind of steps would you give them? Because I know quite a lot of people that, they talk about it and they're like, oh no, I don't know if I could.
But this is such an important question.
Yeah.
Because it's gone so wrong on occasions.
Yeah.
People get what's the word for when you get too much in your mind and not enough in the room? Like there's
that's any woman that doesn't know their sexuality, right? They're in their heads. They're in their heads.
Yes, there's that. You're in your head. That's perfectly put. So people, when they get in their head, sometimes can turn to drinking to relax. Don't do that, please. I beg you. Like we try so much to make sure that people are not drunk because you don't then have the choices perhaps that you would have as a sober person. Have a drink, know your limits, basically. Please. But at the end of the day, this is really important to remember. Like most people that come through these doors are shy. That like we do like little poll questionnaires on the story to say, what's one thing that you're concerned about if joining a new party, or what questions do you have for us? Just a broad strokes one. The majority of people, if they haven't been to a party before, will say, I'm nervous. What do I do? How do I say things? What do I do when I've approached somebody? What do I say? Stay out your head, stay in the room, get your feet on the floor, don't drink too much. And just be present. These are a bunch of people that are probably feeling the same as you. Yeah. If not worse, gosh, help us. Like, we're all putting ourselves out in a vulnerable space when we go and do something like that. Yeah. It's scary for everyone. And if they're not scared, they're putting a front on, which means that they've hacked it with the don't give a shit thing. So
it's all good anyway.
Yeah, of course. And, just making sure that you're respectful always. Yeah. And, this is, and I hate to say this, but it's mainly for the men, stay respectful. Yeah. Like, we don't often have, if we're looking at my experience, anecdotal only, my experience is that we need to make sure that we keep reminders on new members who are male, moreover than women. Women, you're pretty much good. You're all right. You've had years in nightclubs. You're fine. Yeah. However, with the men, like it's important to stay up to date on consent and guidelines and boundaries. Yeah. And then we'll welcome you with open arms. But it's not like a free for all. You don't walk in and there's mad sex everywhere and you can just join. No, don't clip that. There's not just like, it's not like that. It's something where you go and it's a bunch of adults that will be sitting around with a cocktail, maybe, perhaps. Yeah. And maybe you just go and you sit next to someone and you're like, hi, have you been here before? Are you all right? I'm nervous. How are you? You know, broach the subject and, you know, take down that boundary or take down that wall even. Take down the wall of you're nervous. So am I. Fuck, okay, let's talk about it and get to know each other.
And I think if you do that and you're having conversations, and again, this goes back to all relationships, right? Conversation is important, connection is important, but having the conversations enables us to feel safe, and the connection then feels like it's okay. So connection is like important in that way, and the conversations. So I've never attended because I've been with my husband since I was 16. I love him to pieces. He's over there. Brought him with me on the pod, just, you know. But I've been with him since I was 16. So I've never like explored anything like that. Yeah. But obviously in the work that I do, I hear so much and I always get asked questions. And I'm like, I can't actually answer these properly because I can only answer what I've been told. But when people are going to look into potentially attending for the first time, like you said that they get the T's and C's, everything's really clear. Do they search that on the website? I believe Killing Kittens, if I'm right, is that female led, and so men are by invite only, or was that before and it's changed?
I couldn't comment on KK now and what their specs are. Just I don't work with them anymore.
It's been for a long time.
Yeah, it's been for a long time. But I can speak to Dominium and Erotica. And Hold Up Heroines as well. Geesh. We do quite a lot with a lot of different parties, but the one that I'm most intimate with is Dominium, so definitely can speak to them. They send out everything and they also post about it constantly. And then on the way in, it's reiterated. So when it comes to that, the safety really is paramount and number one. So it is, however, up to the person that's coming to read through it. Because even if you do or you don't, like you'll still get, if you're brand new, a whole moment on the door by the hostess or the host as well, which is really good. But if you haven't been before and you're thinking about it, the best recommendation I could have for you, don't go full on into a sex party first and foremost. Go to something called a cocktail hour.
Okay.
And you go and you meet people, and if you like those people, then you arrange to go to a party. But cocktail hours are more of a soft landing space. Yeah. You know, and it's conversation. It's a cocktail. And that is it. And you go home. You don't go home with anybody at all, unless you want to. And they want to.
Essentially.
Yes. But the cocktail hours that we have at Dominium are perfect. Like, they really are a soft landing space. And then if you want one step removed again, we're doing a cabaret, which is sit down with other people like-minded, but you don't need to talk. You don't need to interact. You can watch the show. And then if you are feeling brave, you can go and have a chat with them afterwards for a drink. That's it. There's so many steps that you can take to make sure that you feel safe and you have your people. Yeah. Because honest to God, the community is amazing. Yeah. It's out of anywhere, everywhere. Like, the community is amazing and they bring together such a beautiful group of people. And that's what's so special. Because, I could go on about that for ages, but we have not enough time for that.
So with regards, as a performer, what element of safety do you bring? Is that the cabaret piece? Or is that...
So I'm definitely more of a director and a producer now than I am a performer. Serena, it's been a while since we saw each other. I've barely performed. I'm more directing, so I'll be there in my sweats, looking hair up in a scrunchy bun, in backstage. But when I do perform, I try to make sure that what I am doing is within a certain guideline, what I feel is safe for me, and what I make sure is safe for the audience. But I definitely, go into the levels of interactivity and immersive. So if you're coming to see me as an act, oh my gosh, I might end up on your lap at one point. But I never do that unless I feel like, A, they're giving me enough eye contact and you feel it. Yeah. And if I get close and they start looking away, that's a no-no. That's a really easy tell of a no-no. But if I get really, really close, I've never had this, by the way. If I get really, really close and they say, fucking stop it, it's obviously a no. But I'm pretty good at reading a room. I've done this for 20 years, my darling.
Oh, wow.
20 years.
It's a long time.
What the
That's
fuck?
a long time. But you obviously enjoy it, right?
God, yeah, I love
obviously
it.
enjoy it.
God, I love it.
So you performed for us at a very small, intimate. It was during the lockdown, wasn't it? It was like in that in-betweeny time. And Boris was trying to shut us down around Christmas and say, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing an event. You cannot do this to me. Do not do this to me. And you performed, and you performed a fire act. I'm not going to mention the hall because I don't think we were supposed to have fire.
At a place coming near to you soon, which is reopening after the finale. So basically, you did a performance, and it was mostly women. I think it was like there was about 3 men in the room, right? It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Love that energy.
But the women talked about you like constantly, like for about 2 or 3 months afterwards, which is really good, right? Like you invoked something in them, and they were just in awe. And when I looked back the next day at all of the clips of the event, like. It was like the Maria show. It was like, where's the rest of this event? It's just Maria everywhere, which is really good. Which means that you connect with the audience and you give them something, which is truly empowering. And so even with or without the sex parties, what you do is still giving women the confidence to feel into their sexuality and love life, like, and be unapologetically themselves.
God, I love it. I mean, I always live by the rule of if I can do this shenanigans, anyone can.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm the biggest geek underneath all of it. I really, really am. And I also, puberty hit me like really, really badly late. Is really unfair. I always feel like if I can feel confident enough to go up, and if I could throw my hair like this, or to have this outfit on and put all this shenanigans and jewellery and makeup and stuff, so can anyone and feel this good.
Yeah.
Honest to God, yeah. I don't look like this in the morning, Serena. It takes an awful lot.
I imagine you do.
Then you have to like chip away at like the top layer. Like.
I mean, I think I've seen you live, like, early in the morning before. And you're not afraid to show up that way as well.
No,
which is really cool.
It's about having that ability to sort of like go from one to the other and feel great in both.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's not impossible though.
It definitely is difficult when you're like hitting late 40s and like when you look in the mirror you see your mum. That's scary. That is absolutely scary.
I'm scared at the sentence of you saying that you're in your late 40s because you're death defying at this point. What the heck? You're going to look in your 30s when you reach 60, I think.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to look at my notes because I think we're coming to the end.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, if okay, just 2 quick fire questions.
Oh, these are the ones that are really, 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 really important. Everyone, come close. Bring yourself in.
Okay.
Wait, can I come closer?
Let's do it.
Okay, this one was really personal and really, really, really important.
Latex or lace?
Latex or lace? Latex. Immediately, yes.
Yeah. Like you can, lots of like wetness on the latex.
Yeah, you feel like a freshly shaved, like rubbery seal in latex, and you can slide real far if you try.
Nice. Okay, and then the last one, flirty tease. I know which one I would be. Or fantasy.
Flirty tease or fantasy? Fantasy.
Would you be fantasy?
I'd be fantasy.
I'd be a flirty tease.
Tell me more. How? Why?
I don't know.
Tell me more.
I feel like I feel like I'd be good in that.
Tell me more.
I can't tease you right now because I'm on the spot on camera. But I get a job if I do.
Show me. Hi.
I can't do it. So, what are the small things a woman could do to begin to connect to her central self if, apart from the getting into there, like the little tiny central pieces of self? I would say mirror work. For me, mirror work is important.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah. And it also comes with lots of beautiful affirmations that maybe you could do also, which is scientifically proven now. Affirmations work.
They work.
They work.
They work. Do you know Abel Hart on...
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love Abel Hart.
He's so beautiful, isn't he?
Yes. And like, I watch him every day.
He helps the life move better. I think... Sorry, I was really thrown by the fact that looks like anal beads. I'm so sorry. Shit. Okay, so on that subject, funnily enough, get friendly with toys.
Yes.
Because why not? And also, like, if you're in a relationship, please, I mean, I'm trying to politically word this as best as I can. If they're not okay with you using toys, broach that conversation in open communication to make them feel safe enough to know that it's not a threat. This is something that lots of women have said to me along my life.
And I worked for Anne Summers, and that's the
number one, right?
The conversation, the number one conversation. And it's about learning that they're an exploratory part of connecting with your body and learning new pieces of self.
Can I tell you about a new toy that I just got the other day?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this one's a 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10, and it's definitely, do not go to this if you have not tried toys before. Don't. No. It was... It's got a cowgirl. Have you heard of a cowgirl?
No. Tell me more.
Have you heard of a Sibian?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can't go from nothing to that. That's 100% like a life ender. Yes. Got one of those in the house, and my galley friends that are in this world and work in sex parties have said to me, why am I leaving the house anymore?
Wow.
For this podcast only.
I love that. I like sex toys. I feel are important. An important part of your toolbox.
Yes.
As a couple, or to explore all on your own.
Yes, of course. And I think also finding your sensuality, you don't know where you can take your body to. Just with your hands alone.
In my book there, one of the headers is God gave us fingers.
And those fingers made power sockets.
Exactly. So, you've got all the tools you need if you're a little bit afraid.
Yes.
But go and explore.
Go and explore. Get into your Ann Summers. Get into Love Honey. Get into wherever you need to. But also... find out what it is. This one's really, really, it was good for me anyway, if people want to try it. There's a quiz on a website called FetLife.
Okay.
Where you can find out it's kind of like a horoscopy thing or something. I don't know. But it's like they have like a list of lots of questions to find out what kind of kink or fetish or where you are leaning. But you can even get like monogamous, cis hetero. That is an option there. And then you'll get like smaller percentages of other things. But there's some people that I know that have gone on there, they're like, oh my god, I'm like 90% brat.
I think, is it Jaya that has the erotic template as well? It's a bit similar to that, isn't it?
Tell me more.
You have to look her up, Jaya, and look up her erotic template, because it kind of tells you something similar like that. It lets you know where you're playing, and you can do your partner as well, so then you can see if you butt heads or if you're connecting, or what love language maybe they need from you to be able to get you to that space.
That's super good. Yeah,
we'll
this
put the
is all
links to those in the show notes. It's all kinky. Okay, so I think we've come to an end. So before we go, would you like to look into this camera and just let everybody know where they can find you, where they can come play with you?
London. So the most exciting thing that I would recommend for you guys after watching this podcast to come see me at is the 18th of April, Dominion. We have a beautifully large event, which is gorgeous. If you've been to a play party before, this is perfect. If not, then the 26th of April, there's a cabaret show ahead of a cocktail hour. So if you want to have a soft landing space, then come to that. And that is in London. So if you want to find me, it is at maria.antonia.stavro, and you can see all of my stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. It's been fun.
It's been so much fun. We just talk sex, haven't we?
Until next time, go like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.